Dillingham. She's way on the other side over there.
All right, give me a moment. Okay, I'm sorry. I started the meeting a few minutes ago, and then the jury came back with a the jury came back with a verdict, and I stopped it, but I had turned on the Zoom, not the Zoom feature, the YouTube feature, because it's posted on the docket or the on the agenda, and whenever I went to cut it off, it said private Zoom meeting that I wasn't allowed to see it. So I was waiting to make sure that it launched. All right, so it's launched.
It has
All
to.
right, so we'll give Judge Martinez a few minutes or a little bit of time.
Let me ask the secretary's office, or let me ask his office, see if they're gonna make it.
Come on in. No. The ones who want to are there, the ones who don't are gone. Okay. That's Henry Barbara is his great aunt. He thinks. Does he know you're here? Yeah. Matthew, talk to him.
He's learning the celebration.
His secretary just texted back that he's not coming.
All right, I'll let everyone know. One, of course, we're being live streamed on YouTube. He did ask yesterday that several items under Part 6 be tabled, and I didn't want to get into discussing things with what would be a quorum, 2 out of 3 judges. So I told him we'd just go forward today. All right, so item number 1, review. So we have I'll call the meeting to order. It's 12:05. We have a quorum. We have the 2 district judges, and and it was posted. See, I couldn't see on this copy. It says it's on Zoom. I thought it was posted on YouTube. Well, we're on YouTube anyway. All right. Has anybody had a chance to join him to look at the minutes from last time?
Yes, I don't have any issues.
All right. So is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, it's unanimous. They're approved. All right. Discussion on a clock system. And it says probation policy handbook 500.00 501 timekeeping.
Right, and I just needed just for auditing purposes and clarification, just wanted to make sure that you guys, transparency purposes as well, just wanted to let you guys know, again, it was brought up, it was asked to being brought up since last meeting. And so we are clocking in and out. We have had some discrepancies on the clocking in and out just because we do a lot of our work, if we go to the school campuses or we do home visits, we stay after 5 sometimes on a crisis, we don't come in and clock in, we go straight to the crisis. And so I just want to make sure I know we're in the middle of a compliance auditing year, and so they do ask for our policies and procedures. They pick a handful of them, and we have to make a copy of our policy procedures, send it over to the state, and confirm and verify that we're following that policy procedure. So just moving forward, I just wanted to make sure we discussed that I am in compliance. I don't want to be out of compliance, but if I'm in compliance as far as we keep a log, but there's two different ways that we're clocking in and out. And so I just wanted to get with you guys. So in case we want to turn it into an action item at a future meeting, or we want to discuss this, how you guys want me to move forward with this.
So is this the Time Clock Plus? Is that the app that y'all are using, the program? Is it Time Clock Plus? I've seen it downstairs. I mean, I just walked past it. Is that the same company that does it?
Yes, ma'am.
They have an app. So does the county pay for the app so that you can just clock in? It comes with an application that you can put on your phone that the treasurer could authorize, and you could just log in with your employee number and your PIN number, and then you would be in compliance all the time, not using two systems.
Not to my knowledge. And Ms. Martinez is.
No, I'm not aware of the app, because I know that's been an issue with other employees in the past, but that's something that can be asked of our treasurer's department that does the time clock, to see if that's something that they would be willing to invest in, just so that they're compliant. Because my understanding that I'm getting is they're doing their time sheets pursuant to their handbook, the juvenile handbook, and then the county's also requiring her to punch it. We're just trying to get them to be the same, so for auditing purposes, if it comes up, she's not compliant, non-compliant, sorry.
I know Judge Martinez's preference for everybody in the county is a time clock. I mean, I know we talked about exempt versus non-exempt, but like for the employees, it's probably easier if they just comply with whatever the county policy is on that. But if we can see, if the app doesn't have an extra cost, or if it's a cost that is something our budget could handle, then I think it would be great if we could just, I don't want to have a paper timesheet and then the clocking in and then make more work for the treasurer, because I think that's what we're doing now, and that's probably what's making them displeased.
And do we need to amend our handbook? I mean, I agree. I mean, obviously, if you get called out in the middle of the night, you need to be paid, but do we need to amend our handbook? It sounds like, to make sure that it tracks the LaSalle County procedures to the extent
Correct.
possible.
Yes, and that's why I wanted to bring it up for discussion. So we knew at a future meeting what items we would need to amend, where we would need to go with that. So we can put that in written, a statement, and then we can amend it, and then we can go ahead and follow it. So I would be in compliance.
So why don't we see if Liz can visit about whether the contract obligations for time clock allow for the app, and or if it is, what the cost is, and if they can do, if it's something we want to do. And then for right now, keep clocking in and keeping track of the timesheet with the idea that they should match.
Okay. And I'll visit with the treasurer and check on that.
Okay. And item 3, discuss, take action on reviewing the time worked is actually spent on the job. I'm not sure what that means, but.
So that was it. That was kind of piggybacked on number 2. Just wanted to make sure I separated them. So on same thing on the timekeeping section, the policy states time worked is all the time actually spent on the job performing the assigned duties, meaning if we weren't actually here in the office, we're still doing duties. And I was just trying to get staff around here to understand that we are not always sitting in the office. And so that's why I had invited other staff members, not from the juvenile probation department, but to the meeting. So maybe you guys can join at one of the commissioners court meetings to explain that our full duty of assignments is not in the office setting. We do house visits, we do school visits, and I'm just, I don't know how else to explain it. But I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention, that had been brought up, that not all hours are spent in the office. And I know you're fully aware that that's not what is in our job description. And so there was some concerns that all job duties were not being done in the office. but there is no way that,
They can't be, so.
right, and so that was just the question from our commissioners and some of our locals on why is the job not being done in the office, and it's, again, just being transparent.
And if I may just interject, I know one of the issues that came up that my office was also part of, that was mentioned to the juvenile board as well in the previous meeting, was the autism awareness walk. Some county employees partook in the actual walk. My office and the JPOs did not walk. We had booths out there. She was handing out her stuff. Her employees were, and so were mine. My employees got paid, but then there was some issues with payment for her employees, even though they were out there representing her office. So that was something that wasn't just her office, all offices were getting questioned upon. So we cleared that up on our end. But I know Cassie wanted to bring it to y'all's attention as well.
Yeah, we wanted to bring it to your attention, so I got a hold of TAC. So my employee did get the 1 hour docked from that hour that we were doing the community event that previously you guys were notified about. And so I didn't want to, get everybody else involved, so I called TAC directly, asked the question, and TAC got onto a phone conference call with Ms. Martinez, the treasurer, and the judge's office, and they did let the treasurer's office know that they needed to compensate my employee, so we didn't get into any other issues. And so just back to that line item was all job performing duties sometimes have to do outside of our office. And I didn't know if we wanted to amend this, elaborate on it. Does it need to say outside of 101 Courthouse Square? Is something maybe you guys want to discuss?
I
Again,
mean, I think if you get the ability to log in on your phone from the app, that kind of clears it up because you're logged in. I mean, right?
Well, it might not, Judge, for the reason that they were already clocked in, so they didn't clock out to go to the high school because they were working there, so I don't know.
Okay, and how about we just take all the sheriff's deputies off the clock every time they leave the courthouse, because we don't know they're not sleeping underneath a tree somewhere. I mean, it's
Exactly.
ridiculous. If people have a legitimate claim that folks are faking their hours and they're out there not doing their job when they're supposed to be and then claiming time for it, then report it and let's get them fired and maybe indicted. But if it's just somebody that wants an excuse not to do what they're supposed to do and pay people for their work, I'm not going to go along with that.
so, okay, thank you, Judge. Just wanted to make sure I brought that to y'all's attention.
I still have to sign it.
Number 4, discuss insurance clarification on our vehicles. Do we know if we have insurance on our?
So the email I got back was, as per our county clerk, Sonia Maldonado, all vehicles have the same coverage insurance. Sheriff's Department is no different than any other county employee, and as long as the individual is in a county vehicle, they are all covered. That's the only information I got back. I sent multiple emails out to the judge's office to get specifics on exact coverage that the policy was carrying, and that's the only information that I received back from them.
Did you explain to them that we're attached to the county, but we're different than the county? Like,
Yes, I did. I explained that to the clerk's office. They gave me the actual insurance ID card, and then I explained it to the judge's secretary, and
I
she
have-
said she.
I have Sonia right here. So the juvenile board is not necessarily, I mean, they're paid out of the county, but it's its own entity, the juvenile board.
They're like, here's my things.
No, you do this when it's dropped
But
off.
listen, isn't it a separate, don't they have to have a special addendum for the juvenile board? Isn't it its own addendum?
I would think so, and I've never heard of, for liability insurance, I've never heard of the sheriff's department being on the same policy with everybody else, because I mean, your rates are usually much higher for the sheriff's department because
do
they
you
get
have
high speed.
So are you the person that's the claim representative? Okay, so Sonia's right here. Why don't we have Sonia write to them and say, this is a juvenile board, juvenile probation vehicle. Does it require an addendum? The county owns it, but it's being leased effectively to the juvenile board. Does it need special coverage or an addendum? Because the juvenile board is using it, not, because they're not county employee. They are paid by the county, but they're employees of the juvenile.
So they're not, so Cassie's not considered a county employee. And Tyrese, and Nadia, are they not county employees and they don't fall under our policies? Or under our tax?
I mean, I would say yes to that, right?
She wants to know if we're not counting.
It's a strange entity, the juvenile board, but no, I think that it's probably not covered. Here's the thing, whether it should be covered or not, whether they are, whatever the relationship is, what I have absolutely seen is when a claim gets made against the juvenile department, the insurance company sends a letter of reservation, which means that they said, well, we'll provide a defense, we'll hire a lawyer, but we're not guaranteeing you we're going to pay because we don't think we have to pay if there's an actual judgment because we don't think they're covered under the policy. So again, whether it makes sense or not, whether it's right or not, I've absolutely seen the insurance companies try and get out of coverage when a claim's made, and I want to get that nailed down in advance that everybody, if we need to pay more, we can all have to pay more, but let's get that nailed down in advance if there is coverage.
Right, so I'm gonna give this to Sonia so she can take it downstairs.
Okay. Yes. Sounds good.
Okay.
So who will pay for that insurance?
So if it's more, tell us how much it is. We can see if we can cover it out of the juvenile. We'll cover it out of the juvenile budget.
Okay, that's right, okay.
Okay. She has to know
Go down to-
whenever. We're not worried. You'll get us the answer for next meeting.
I'll find it.
We'll find you. Okay.
All right. Item 5, disbursement of state aid discrepancies, delays.
Yeah, I need clarification. I've sent an email out, on January the 18th on the agenda. Line item number 2, discuss and approve salary adjustment grant was approved. January 24th, 23rd, Judge Martinez signed, the letter on stating the minutes were attached. This was approved. It was turned in, the total amount was, stated on the letter, turned it into the treasurer's office for disbursement. The treasurer emailed back wanting the minutes, so I turned in the signed minutes from last meeting that Judge Wilson signed. Then I received an email stating that the treasurer was waiting on Judge Martinez's approval for the disbursement. And so I'm just not clear on what else I need to turn in to get that dispersed. I know the last conversation I had with him, he wanted to split up the state supplement into a monthly payment. I know it wasn't discussed that way, but if I don't use it by July, we lose it. And I know that it's an action item that had already been approved and minutes had been signed and paperwork had already been turned in. So I just wanted to ask how I move forward with this or what to
All
do.
right. We have anybody from the treasurer's office available, or are they going to be at lunch?
I invited the treasurer, but I think she's at lunch.
Do you want to call on that, Judge Wilson, and see if, as the chair, you can say, I've signed this, what more do you need?
Okay, I will do that this afternoon.
Thank you.
And let me go and see what number I have. Okay, I've got that number good. All right. And Chief's report 6A, full discrepancies.
I just wanted to confirm with you guys, I know last meeting, Judge Dillingham had mentioned to get our data coordinator her 4 hours paid. As per TAC, they did advise the treasurer to go ahead and pay those 4 hours. So she did get paid her 4 hours of travel, and she did get paid her 1 hour of the autism walk. So just want to make sure to let you guys know that that did get taken care of. The data coordinator, we're going through the juvenile case management system audit right now, where all JCMS information is being audited from January 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2024. Or sorry, January 1st, 2023 to January 1st, 2024, and that's due in June. So we're making sure that all information that we do document and intake that's inputted in the juvenile case management system will go through a comprehensive audit. And so that's what she's going through. I'm going through a file audit. So my file audit is going to be on section 341, anything on policies and procedures in section 341 that is in our policy handbook, and any other cases that have been adjudicated, deferred adjudication cases. So they send me a list of juveniles that they want a file audit on, and so that's due on Monday, May 6th. So we're pretty much done on that. Just wanted to let you guys know that we're going through that section 341 audit. We did a presentation with DPS just to touch base with them and just give them a crash course again. We have lots of DPS officers that are in and out. And so on the intake procedures on how to do juvenile referral, so we did a juvenile referral checklist, put everything in writing, and then everything goes straight to our prosecutor's office. So we just shadow exactly what her checklist requires, and did about an hour-and-a-half presentation on that at the elementary school. And then our caseload, we have 9 kids on our caseload right now. The number 10, we transferred out to Webb County, and just got notice that they filed for petition on that one. So I'll keep you guys posted and updated on making sure that they're following through on any cases that get transferred out. So there is a filed petition on that specific case right now in Webb County.
Okay.
Then we'll be joining Judge Martinez at the Cafecito this month, and we have a mental health awareness we have a mental health awareness, it's not a seminar. They're hosting a little event. It's an event on Saturday. And so Camino Real and Laurel Ridge have invited us to be a part of their mental health awareness clinic.
For the resources that are available in the county.
Right. So that's it. That's what we got going on for the month of May.
All right. And is there any chance the treasurer would be in her office right now, Ms. Perez?
Let me check.
She's gonna check right quick. Oh, our last item was our contract, right?
Oh. That's the one that was added on.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, all right. With the Nobel contract, now what is the software for?
So Noble, TJJD requires us to have a contract with Noble, and it is a risk and needs assessment program that TJJD requires us to use to be in compliance with our annual desk audit. And so it gives us case plans. We're able to put in, we give the assessment, kind of like the Macy, we input the assessment and it scores it for us. So it's an alternative risks and needs assessment for the juvenile. So we do the Macy as one, and our second one would be it's the Noble one. So they require this. And so what the state does, I need to go back and look at our funding, but the state gets funding for it, and they disperse it in different amounts to the different counties. And so I'm not exactly sure what was dispersed to LaSalle County, or if it was dispersed only to Frio, but it was never bought for LaSalle County. We don't have an account. And so when I went back to look to see if we had, unless we did, and Jenny and Victor didn't give me access to it, but I've asked them, and I'm not on that account either. And so Noble is saying that LaSalle County has not had yeah, its own account. So I think we were sharing the account with Frio County. But now that we're on our own, we need to have our own, account to be able to input, all the information on these juveniles in order to be in compliance with our compliance of annual desk audit.
So it's $2,816, and if we have to pay for that without, if assuming we didn't get a disbursement or it went to Frio, do we have money for that?
I think we have money for that. And I want to say, I think we have money for that due to not hiring the juvenile probation officer from September to December, and we had funds from September to December. We haven't used all of our funds for detention either. We're May, and so we haven't used all our funds. So I know we have the $2,000, plus we have money from the community event. We had put $8,000 in there, and we've probably used about $1,000 of that.
Okay, and has the Juvenile Justice Department approved this contract? This contract that says we're going to indemnify this company and that we have to have the lawsuit in the King County, Washington?
Yes, so Ms. Martinez had reviewed that, and so I just sent an email back to them in reference to that. So I'll ask that you hold off on the signature until I get clarification on that, and then I can send you that email to clarify, because that's the contract they sent as per the Texas Juvenile Justice System. So that's what I got from them. But I'll go ahead and confirm that. I sent that email about 30 minutes ago, and as soon as I get confirmation on that email, I'll forward that to you.
So why don't we
Well,
not?
I want to hear from the juvenile. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, I'm not in favor of doing it today until we get an answer from Ms. Martinez. We also verified that we can do a line item amendment on the next budget to pay for it if needed.
Okay, and that's exactly, so when I spoke to our compliance data auditor, what I'm gonna send her to be in compliance is the emails back and forth from Noble and I, trying to get that contract to me. So she's gonna go ahead and waive it as far as having justification on emails, trying to get that account set up. So it's not gonna hurt us this year, but I wanna make sure that we get that in line and make sure we get everything properly executed to be in compliance for next year's.
Okay, and I can't believe that we're the only county that's questioned them about this contract.
Let me get with Jenny or Victor and ask them, I mean, maybe they have, I don't know if they used Frio County this whole time, and so we were implementing the risk and needs assessment. I know they used to use, had you ever heard of RANA? They were using RANA, risk assessment needs, I'm not exactly sure what it was. So that's what was in JCMS. And so just recently, it's not since 2008, because just recently we moved over to this Noble PACT risk and needs assessment. Maybe the last 2 years they've been using this. So like I said, I'm not sure if Frio County had the account, they were using their account, but I don't think we've had a desk audit in like the last 5 years.
Right. So we'll table this. We may have to have a meeting next week.
Okay, and like I said, it was, for the most part, when I did, her name is Erica, when I spoke to Erica at TJJD, she said as long as I sent her the emails justifying that we were in the process of trying to figure out to get this system set up with us. So it's not gonna hurt us in any way. Just the fact that wanted to make sure that you guys know that we were missing this program, and I wasn't aware that, I didn't practice using this program either, so I wasn't aware that we were using this program until it came in the information from the audit.
Okay.
So I'll get that information for you guys. And I can get an email, maybe I can get TJJD rep to go ahead and contact you as well.
It's weird because their website is full of Texas people. They're all Texas workers that work with TrueCore, Gulf Coast, Pegasus, and all the placements we do. But their office is in California, which is not Washington either.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. Did you know, was anybody present in the treasurer's office?
No, they were out for lunch.
Okay. All right. And that's still, is it still Maria Perez?
Is it still what?
The treasurer is still Ms. Perez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, anything else we need to take up today?
That's it.
I will get back to Cassandra, the signed minutes. And I guess we'll call this a meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, in favor, aye? Aye. Unanimous? Or do you vote Dillingham?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we are adjourned. Have a good day.